Well, our kids, we feel like we've had a good week of preparation, and our kids are excited about going down and playing a really good LSU team in a great environment in Baton Rouge. And, this has been a long-standing series, and there's been a lot of great games over the years. And, I feel like it'll be really competitive. And, I think our kids are really excited about this great opportunity they have.
You talked Monday about LSU. It's a lot like y'all. Both teams lost a lot of great players from last year's series teams, but both teams are adjusting to it.
Yeah, I think, LSU lost some really good players from a year ago, but they have really good, young, talented kids who have taken their place. And, I think, NOLA is one of the best in college baseball. They're a very good defensive team. They had a great offensive night last night against McNeese State. And, they're probably, after last weekend, there's probably, there's a sense of urgency for sure, but I feel like we have a sense of urgency as well. And I think, again, it's just another great, SEC weekend, another great Mississippi State LSU weekend.
Can you talk about that rivalry, LSU Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think having played in it, I thought it was great. I think the reason why you get a sense that there's a rivalry there is because for a long period of time, Mississippi State and LSU really had two of the only fan bases in the Southeastern Conference in terms of schools that will travel and in terms of people showing up for games consistently. You look at 70s, 80s, 90s, those two have been a constant. So I think in that way it's a rivalry, but I think that it's kind of like every other sport. I think, gosh, when we play Vanderbilt on the weekends, I feel like it's a rivalry. When we play Ole Miss, that's a rivalry. So I think you can make a case for any weekend in the league being a rivalry for sure.
But both teams coming off a Saturday doubleheader, how do you think that impacts pitching plans for this weekend?
Yeah, we know for sure that Brown's not going to pitch tomorrow night. He threw a bullpen earlier in the week and was I had a little bit of a shoulder issue, and so we're going to have to adjust to that. Whether that's moving Ross up into his spot, we don't know. Ross really wants to pitch on Friday night, having talked to him yesterday, but we got to wait and see how he feels on Friday. So whenever you're moving guys around, then I think you're in a situation where you're going to find out what's best for that young man and how he feels. So, certainly we don't know exactly what we're going to do with Trevor. For right now, we would probably go Ross and then probably put Trevor on Saturday and wait and see how Brown's shoulder's doing on Sunday. But we can deviate from that. If Ross wakes up on Friday and his arm's not where he wants it to be, we're for sure going to give him another day.
So. You're also looking at the chance of weather on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. So, it's you look at the predictions, you look at NOAA, and it's really different than the Weather Channel. And it's really, it's just I don't like playing weatherman until you get 5 or 6 hours away from. And I know that impacts fans, and it impacts game management and things like that. But I think when you try and play weatherman more than 24 hours in advance, you're really you're going to make more mistakes than you are anything else.
Any other questions?
What is it?
What's the game plan with NOLA? I mean, he's probably only going to make 3 or 4 mistakes all night. You got to kind of just attack those.
Yeah, he's really good. NOLA's really good. He's a strike thrower. He's got great stuff. I think he's going to be a great draft pick. He's really hard to beat. You have to get a key hit. You really, somebody's got to stand in there and get that HBP or the walk. And you're talking about 2 really good defensive ball clubs, so somebody's going to have to, make a mistake in order to beat NOLA. But I felt that way on Friday night, against LSU. Against Vanderbilt's guy, Beatty. I thought he was really, really good. Didn't pitch as well against us as he would have liked to, but just when you're convinced that you got to beat one guy on a pitching staff, another guy steps forward and pitches as well as that guy. So, he will certainly be a challenge, but I think all their other guys will be very, very competitive as well.
Any update on CT